haven't tried her services, you can see what a great job she makes me look. So I appreciate that. I want to tell you a little bit about me and then what I do. First of all, I started out in my 20s, like a lot of other folks who worked their way through college and had no money, no credit, whatever, no rich relatives. So I decided early on, I did at first what a lot of people do when they graduate and can't find a job. I taught school for a little bit. And I'm like, I can't even buy Girl Scout cookies at the end of the month or milk to go with it, so I got to do something. So I spent a couple of years developing a business plan, but I wasn't sophisticated enough to even know what a business plan was. Except, anyway, so I ended up founding, developing, and owning a 300-unit adult retirement community, complete with swimming pool, clubhouse. We even owned our own fire truck, had our own sewage treatment plant, water plant, and I became licensed operator of all of that stuff. And kept it for about 8 years and sold it for more money than I'd ever thought about. I tell people that was the best thing and the worst thing I did. It was the best thing because it was a great project. It's the worst thing because I didn't have sense enough to hang on to it. But I tell you that because as part of what I started doing, I realized how important credit, being able to borrow money, to leverage situations and so forth is. And so I've been an advocate of the small businessman ever since I started becoming one. And as a function of what I started doing way back when I was in my 20s, I started my own mortgage company, and actually at one time in the 80s I was on the state of Florida Mortgage Banking Education Committee as well as some other things. So as part of that process, I learned from the ground up what it takes, what's required to have a mortgage loan. And that's what drives my philosophy in my business today is when someone comes to me and they really don't have a clue other than they want to have good credit, they've got goals in mind, they need a good score, they need this, they need that, they really don't know what they need. So I'm able to look at it the same way that a mortgage underwriter, that's the person who says yes or no, I look at it the same way. The reason I do is if you've got good enough credit to get approved for a mortgage loan, you're going to have good enough credit to do about anything else you want to do. So I take a look at it not from the standpoint of let's throw some things out there and hope they stick, but from the standpoint of if a bank, if a mortgage underwriter, if Cass and Regents is looking at you for approval, what is it they want to see? What are you going to have to show them? And it's not singly focused. It's very complicated. And comparing it to medicine, it's holistic. You have to look at every component. So one of the things that I pride myself on is I've spent over 30 years in the financial services and credit industries. So I look at it the same way that somebody looks at you from a bank or a mortgage company for an approval. Because I know the programs, I know FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, and it's not just a single issue. Most people look at the scores. The score is only 25% of the equation. It's the rest of the stuff. I tell people it's like eating a balanced meal. You can see I don't miss too many meals. So looking at it from that standpoint, you've got to have, all of the food ingredients on the plate. If you eat a lot of dessert like I do, or you eat, whatever, you are not going to have well-rounded credit. So I'm going to look at any customer from the standpoint of when they go to the doctor's going to look at the holistic picture, the entire picture. Most of the people in my profession which give it a bad name, look strictly at the cleanup part of it. What can we do to get rid of this or get rid of that? Well, you can clean the plate till it sparkles, but if you don't have food on it, you're still hungry. So I look at it from the standpoint of, what's there? Do they have the right number of accounts open? Because 30% of the score is based on revolving credit alone, which are credit cards, and their ratios. Well, if you don't get that right, there's 250 points out of 850, and you're not going to have good credit. So, looking at the delinquencies, it's date of last activity. Not do you have any bad things, but when did they occur? That's 35%. That's 300 points. If you don't get that one right, you can't have over a 550, which would be an F on a report card. So when people come to me, I give them the same thing that you're looking for when you go to the doctor. You want an accurate diagnosis. You want a comprehensive plan of treatment, and somebody who can get you from where you are now to where you need to be in the shortest period of time with honesty and integrity. So like I say, when your scores are on the floor, call Dr. Credit, that's me, and watch and soar.